Today, I have with me Nico, who is a software developer. And it's really funny because the first time we met in May of this year, I told him that I thought that AI was going to completely replace software engineers. And obviously, he was not very happy to hear that. And it turns out that I have had to eat my words. And so, in today's video, I want to share with you some of the things that we've been talking about in terms of where the real value is of a software developer, a software engineer. And he's going to share some of his experiences being a software engineer over the past few years, using AI to not just replace the coding that he's doing, but really just increase the ROI of how quickly he's moving, how he's learning, and all these things. So I'm super excited for this chat today. So, Nico, if you want to introduce yourself.
I am a software engineer at Fullware, Fullware.com. Um, I've been working there like for a year now, and I'm like currently like full stack engineer within this company. And this company is like basically using AI to enhance how people are handling like reviews online through Google, Facebook, TripAdvisor, and all this kind of things. So helping like improving customer satisfaction.
So, one of the things that I want to start with is so I think when you first started working at Fullware, you were doing backend development,
Mhm.
but over the past few months, you've been also dabbling in the front end development. And so now you've become a full stack engineer. And I've been watching your journey going from just a back end developer to being full stack and how you've been slowly integrating AI into your workflows in a way that doesn't just do all the work for you, where you're just outsourcing everything to AI and you're just getting it to code up a bunch of things that you don't even understand how they work, but you're actually using it in a really smart way where you're using it to learn faster. Because when you took on the front end work, this was a little bit new, but I feel like you've really learned so much about front end development over the past few months to the point that you are really guiding other team members around solutions. So share with us a little bit about how you got involved in the front end and just a little bit about that journey so we can have some context about you.
Yeah, so basically, I started to work with Fullware about a year ago, and we've been like very busy with the backend work. We had like a lot of features to implement, but we arrived at some point that we were working too fast for the front end to catch up on all the features that we have been implementing. So at some point, we had to slow down. And the thing is, like, I had two options. It's like because I also am like freelance for this company, the options to either quit or to start to take another position and learn a new thing. I was not like 100% new to the front end development, but I'm totally not an expert. But I've been leveraging the AI tools that I have like in my hands to like learn faster and learn maybe like even better as well.
When you say learning better, can you contrast to me what is it about learning with AI that's allowed you to go faster compared to before when you were learning software development without the help of AI? What have you found has been really effective in the way you use AI to learn faster?
I've been using a tool called Cursor, which like in the background made like run like agents using ChatGPT and all these kind of things. So everybody is like already like very like familiar to what ChatGPT does. And so the thing is like because Fullware is not like a small company anymore. It's been like 3 years now. The code base is like pretty big. So there's a lot of things to how to say to rely on. Like we can like dig the code base and know how things are done. All these kind of things. So I'm not starting like from zero, which is a good thing because there is also like a style, a code style, all these kind of things. And some parts of the code are good, some are like less good. And the thing is like when you enter a code base, you question everything that you see, especially when you're new with the technology. And so how I was using AI and Cursor within my workflow is that I've been like taking a bunch of code and see like, can you try to explain me this, or can you try to explain me that concept? So it's a process that I would have done by myself before AI, going like through the documentation, all the different things. But now what I'm doing right now is like I'm more targeting the what I need to do, like before learning the documentation. So I'm going straight to the point what I need to do first. And I use the AI to brainstorm, like to like show me some like first a sample of code or of how I can do this or how to use a concept, and then I tweak it to my need. So I'm like going faster in the process of learning because I have also like some examples that are more like tailored to my need.
So instead of reading generic documentation, it's explaining it to you and actually drafting what the code could look like that would be a specific solution to the thing that
Mm,
you're solving.
mm,
But
mm, mm.
but you're not necessarily just taking that solution that AI has created and just plugging it in blindly.
You cannot trust 100% AI. That's the thing. Like, because also the thing with a tool like Cursor is like it's trained on the database that you have, plus some of the things, some documentation that are well-known documentation. You cannot always trust 100% because it's not always the best solution, but it's a beginning of a solution. And sometimes also, if you ask him like not to do it in a certain way, he comes up with another solution that can be even sometimes smarter than what you think. So in this process, you learn a lot from the AI. We should all learn from the AI and not the AI being doing the work for us or just doing the dumb works, stuff like this, you know.
I think a lot of people, even just in my line of work of business coaching, a lot of people are using AI in a one layer experience where they ask AI something, the AI spits something back, and now they use that right away. But something I found is really effective is building on top of what the AI is giving you and adding your own context. So, for example, first, let's say I'm trying to solve a business problem. I'm first going to provide all the context about my situation, maybe some possible approaches I'm thinking about, sort of guiding the AI. And then the AI comes back with a solution or a layer of a solution. And now we further tweak it. We say, hey, actually, I'm not really sure we want to go in that direction. Can you change this? Now that I think about it, actually, this is another thing that I remembered. This is something we should incorporate. That's how you're accelerating your thinking
Yeah.
too, because you're putting in your thinking, it's adding its thinking. Now you're sort of going like it's really
And
like
it's
a
also the
brainstorming.
iteration of the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You fix, you say like, oh, it's not the way that I want you to do this, or like come up with another idea. Oh, and I like this, I like the way how you do it. Next time try to do it in this way. So it's like it's improving all the time, you know.
And I think the key thing too is to always ask the AI to explain to you why it is proposing a certain solution. I know for me, I do a lot of business modeling. I've had, let's say, businesses where I had to put some sort of estimations together, maybe simulations. And so I'll have it do calculations for me, let's say calculating, revenue off of a certain business model or something like that, like extrapolating. I always like to ask the AI, like, how did you come to that number of that calculation? It'll then expose its work. And then I can tell it, actually, I don't think your assumptions are correct. I think we should assume like this, or I don't want you to do the calculation like that. So you're not just blindly taking what it's doing, but understanding like why are you actually leading to that conclusion or like that solution, and then tweaking it accordingly. So I'm curious though, when you're asking AI to explain the code to you so that you can learn and understand, let's say you're trying to develop your front end development skills, what are your prompts like that you're asking Cursor to, for example, explain things?
Okay, I kind of like understand what's going on there, but I have also like another solution in mind. Like, can you maybe like try to give me some other example? So why like this is has been implemented like this and not the way that I'm thinking right now? Stress testing
Your
like
solutions.
your ideas with the AI. Why it's implemented like this? Why my idea is probably better or worse than the current implementation of the code or the feature or whatever.
It sounds to me like you can reach the ultimate solution faster? Because I'm just thinking, how would you go through that process without AI where you think, oh, this is the solution that I have in mind. How is it going to work? How is it different to this other solution? The only way that you would do that without AI is you literally have to build out all the solutions, which takes so much time. It's a longer feedback cycle. So it sounds to me like with AI, you're almost able to simulate multiple solutions next to each other without having to build the whole thing out and wait for it to go to production and see how it actually ends up and the potential issues that come out later. It sounds like you can actually simulate and fast track and almost predict what might be the better solution without actually having to build it out.
Also, the good thing is with AI, it's like AI is good as scripting stuff. So if you need like a quick script, you can do it. Generate samples, that's like super interesting. Also,
For
when
testing or
for
something?
testing,
Or?
when you need to mock data, for instance, it's like where also AI is gold. You can just tweak a large sample of data according to your need, according to the thing that you are implementing right now. So you can stress test also like the function or the feature that you are like developing at the moment with data that are like close to what can be like real, you know.
And you can even play with the data. You can,
Yeah.
let's say, for example, make the data less clean. Where
Yeah.
is it going to break? Or,
Yeah.
bigger sample size or just more variation or something. So you can really do that QA testing. What ways are developers maybe using AI in not a good way that is going to maybe contribute to their role not being as valuable?
Just writing code for the sake of writing code, it's just not a good idea. You have to also think about how like the business also behind the code. It's not only a matter of code, like because in the next years we're probably gonna have like, I mean, it's sure that AI is gonna take even a bigger place than right now. Like it's there's no doubt about that. So thinking about like how the business uses technology and like you, because you know the technology, and that's also why you should learn from AI and not just like make AI write the code. It's like you should use AI to reach another level of like understanding or another position in the business, you know.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how when I used to run development teams as a product manager in tech, I wanted the developers to be more involved with the business side of things, why we're actually doing things, maybe be part of the demos that we were giving to clients so that they could just have a deeper understanding of the customer so that they could actually create not just better solutions, but also faster because we wouldn't have to translate all this information so much to them because they could just go straight to the source. But the problem was they had no time. If they were going to code the things, they had no time to be spending on almost the solution and solutioning and the architecting of the solution. I felt like that was something that really we didn't have a lot of time for. But I like what you're saying about how AI can take your time back because you're not having to do a lot of this low level coding. So you can repurpose that time to make yourself more valuable by getting closer to the business, better understanding what's actually being done for the user versus just literally writing the code. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to ask you, coming back to sort of how we opened this video, is I talked about how when we first met, I said that I thought that AI was going to replace developers. I think I'd heard a lot about these no code vibe coding platforms. And I just thought, oh, you can just code up an entire app. Why do we need software engineers anymore? Like, this is a dying field. As I said, I really see things differently now. And I see a bigger value in the software engineer, kind of these things that we've talked about with like being closer to the business and like learning faster and all these things. But for developers or software engineers that are still at the point of, I feel really worried about AI, I'm actually really scared that it's going to replace me. Maybe they're scared to use it, or maybe they're even scared to say that they're using it because they think that there's negative connotations to that. There's going to be negative consequences. What would you say to software engineers in that position who are basically scared of AI? and scared that it's going to replace them or reduce their value? What's your best advice for them? Is it going to
Uh,
replace
as
me?
every tool, it's like how you use it. It's funny when you said like cheating with AI, because I've talked about so many people saying like, yeah, it's not actual like coding, you're not really coding or whatever, but like you have to think that when you're a software engineer, you are an engineer like first, so you are solving problem. So people come to you with a problem and you are trying to solve the problem in the best way possible. So like when you have a tool in your hands, there is no cheating. It's just like a way, a better way, a faster way to achieve your goal and to solve the problem that comes to you. That's the only thing. So there is no cheating. We're not at school or wherever. It's business. It's work. There is no cheating. It's just like being smart and take advantage of everything that comes to you, uh, to improve your work, to improve all those kind of things. So there's no cheating first. And like any tools, like if you are talking about the process of learning, I think it's a great advantage, because first of all, I'm not the first one to say that, but like it's a teacher that is there like 24/7 to reply to you to the dumbest question that you have. So it's like you should always use this. And like if you think that saying that you're using AI to learn, it's making you make you like feel like you are like less a developer, I think it's totally wrong. It's just like the way of learning changes over the time. We don't learn anymore like we were used to learn like 50 or 60 years ago. And yeah, things are changing and we just need to embrace all of this.
It
That's it.
sounds to me like in the software development space with the development of AI, and this is happening across other industries and kind of sectors as well, is I think AI is really forcing people to focus on the highest value area of their job. So, like you said, with a developer, the core value is not really, oh, can you write this code from scratch that's going to solve this problem? That's sort of like a low level problem. The core value is being able to understand a problem, architect the solution. And if you happen to use tools that help you create that solution faster, that's not really taking away from your value. What's maybe happening is if you were never really a very high value developer or software engineer and you just kind of coded solutions that people handed to you, you didn't really think about the problem, you didn't think about the business or the product, you just coded based on what people told you to do without really using your brain. Well, yeah, AI should be a threat to you. And so I think the opportunity here is to really, for software engineers to evolve to the point of, spending more time in that high value area of their role.
Yeah. Basically what we have been hired for first, in the first place. It's like using your brain. Use your brain to solve problem. And that's also like I came from a school which is called 42. It's a free school, and it's for me it's the best school ever. And it's all not only like to learn like computer science stuff. It's for me to learn how to learn, and this is like the best thing that you can have from a school. It's like it teaches you how to learn, how to find resources, how to solve problems, because it's the core value of a software engineer. When you hire a software engineer, it's you don't hire someone for maybe the guy know a technology, you know React, or Next.js. When you hire a software engineer in the AI era, you are hiring someone who can match your business need to the technology.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And no matter what language do they use, you are asking the software engineer to solve a problem, a technical problem, to generate businesses, or to create something according to the business need. And not, you don't really care about what's happening in the background. You don't really care about this.
In some situations, yes, of course, domain expertise is useful, but if you understand the fundamentals and the foundations, you can solve the
Always
problem.
concepts.
Mm-hmm.
You learn the concepts, you learn how thing works. You don't have to be like expert in everything, but you have to understand and to know how to transpose every concept. So like you know how a database is, you know what a database is, you know how like data is like transport, like send like through servers and all this kind of thing. You know the concepts. When you're a software engineer, you understand the concept of a database, you understand the concept of like HTTP protocols and all this kind of thing, APIs and all these kind of things. This brings you to a wide range of like opportunities. You don't have to be stuck into a language or whatever. It does not really matter. The language comes after. But if you understand the concept, you can just change like jobs, change technologies. Concepts are going to be the same.
Cool. Well, this has been a very fruitful discussion, and I really enjoyed learning about, yeah, how AI can really how it's being used in the software development field. And I feel like there's just so many parallels, even just with the way I use it with, business coaching and my clients. So yeah, it's been awesome. I think that perhaps we will create more videos in the future.
I wish, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Thanks for listening.